Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you this PremAire HVAC system that I have in my hotel room. Now if you notice right off the bat, this thing is very small compared to a lot of HVAC systems that I've recorded. So that's interesting. If I go to the back of the room here, you can see, you can't even see it because it takes up barely any space. So that's nice. And as you can see, it's mounted kind of poorly. It's really dirty inside. There's the wire. And it's connected to this metal part, which leads to an outside part that you can't really see from here. But here's the view from the first floor of the Days Inn in Charlotte. And, yeah. So one concern I have with this unit is that if you look down here, excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. You can see there's a loose wire. So that's a problem. And you can see it's mounted very poorly on this side. And there's some sort of barcode there. And in front is the very dirty filter that doesn't look like it's been cleaned in a while. Sorry, I have the sniffles. And here's the vent. You can see it's a pretty standard vent, although this one is actually adjustable, as you can see. And if I get my phone, we might be able to see the fan. Let's see. No, that grate's in the way. Oh well. And it looks like back in the day, these were adjustable on the inside, but it doesn't look like it now. You can see they're still on the rotary things. Anyway, we go ahead and look at the controls here. You see you got your on-off switch, your temperature and timer control. This lets you know what this display is showing, whether it's the temperature in the room or the set temperature. And you have all these options here. You have mode, fan only, energy saver, cool and heat, low, medium, high, and auto. And you have sleep and timer. I've never tested those features. And that right there, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like some sort of photo transistor or something. And you can see there's the intake vent. And obviously this is not going to be controlled by a thermostat because all the controls are on the unit itself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and demonstrate this unit. I'm only going to be demonstrating heat today because it's winter time and I don't want to freeze. And we'll start with low. Listen to all the loud planes. Give it a second. If it does a turn on, I'll turn up the temperature, see if that helps. Yeah, it's not going to turn on. Try putting it up to 75. There it goes. I guess it was already at the temperature it was set to. But there we go. And it warms up quite fast and blows a lot of air. This thing works extremely well. And, oh, the wire's over here. I didn't even see that. As you can see, I guess it's plugged into some sort of internal surge protector. So, that's kind of interesting. And, yeah, this thing is quite loud. See, if I go to the edges of the room here, you could still hear it very well. And I could hardly sleep last night because of this thing. And when the compressor kicks in, it is ridiculously loud. So, for a small unit, this thing is pretty noisy. So that's kind of a shame. But as you can see, it's got this weird stain over here. And yeah. And you can see this unit is raised up a bit. So I can actually go underneath here and show you the underside. See, it's just kind of nothing. And yeah, there's that. And let's go ahead and put it on medium now. Speeds up a bit. It's a little louder and it blows a little more air. you look inside, this thing is quite dirty. So I guess it's kind of old. And also, this PremAire, oh sorry, that was just my watch. But this PremAire company I've never heard of before. So that's kind of interesting. It's my first time recording one of these things, so I guess that's interesting. This is a first. And I gotta say, for a small unit, it looks really weird on this giant back box. So, I mean, come on, isn't that a bit of a waste of space? And I just heard some sort of clicking. I don't know what that was. Maybe it wasn't the unit. Whatever. Yeah, there it is again. Maybe it's just sensing the temperature in the room. And this, what I find interesting is that it actually has a beeper in it. Not a lot of HVAC systems in hotels have a built-in beeper or a piezo. So, yeah. And the reason why the planes are so loud is because this hotel is actually right by Charlotte Douglas International Airport. So, that's, I guess, pretty interesting. Now, the reason why I'm here is because my flight from Manchester kept getting delayed, and I ended up missing my connection. So I stayed here for a night, and now it's the next morning, and I'm gonna catch a flight down to Orlando. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and turn it up to high now. Give it a second. Now you can hear it's really loud, and it blows tons of air. This thing heats up the room quite nicely. In fact, I was kind of sweating when I woke up this morning because this thing was on all night. And when you have it on the auto setting, not only does it switch between speeds, but sometimes it shuts off if it gets to the set temperature in the room. It does that with all the other speeds too, except it just doesn't change speeds. So, yeah. Usually at nighttime I leave it on auto, because I really don't feel like dealing with messing with the speeds, because I'm too lazy to get up at night. But, yeah. Overall, I gotta say this unit is really nice. It works really well. Very simple to use, blows tons of air. The only complaint I have about this unit is that it is really loud. And we're going to go ahead and turn it off now. Now this thing takes a while to shut off. What will happen now is that the air will slowly get colder because the heat the heat element inside shuts off first. So what it does is the unit cools itself down before turning off. So we have to wait a few minutes. Sometimes it takes a while. And there it goes. So, that was the PremAire HVAC system in my hotel room. Thanks for watching.